Okay, now that we washed and peeled the potatoes, you want to cube them up in a uniform fashion so they're all about the same size. This way, when we put them into the pot with the boiling water, they all cook up at the same time. We don't want some potatoes mushy and then the other potatoes will be still stiff. So we cube them up, watch your fingers, just get in there, cut them up more or less about an inch or so wide. Slice it up, down, turn it around, and there you go. Nice uniform chunks. Just throw them into the thing, and then we'll get into our boiling water and let them cook up, and that'll be it. We'll see you next segment.
Yep.
Alright, now, some of you people don't like to wash mushrooms, and some people do. I'm the kind that likes to wash mushrooms. I've seen this people that will actually just take a towel and wipe it off. But there's always crevices in there with dirt that's in there, and to me that's disgusting. So what I like to do is just rinse them out, let it drain, and sit back and start slicing them. So what we're going to do, again, we're going to cut them up so they're more or less uniform in size so they fry up at the same rate. And also we're going to get the onions. I have my handy helper here just stepped outside. She started slicing up the onions for me, and I'm going to start chopping up these mushrooms. In a few minutes here, you see that we're beginning to get some steam coming up here. The water's going to start to boil. We're going to put some salt into it, just enough to get the salty water in there, and then we'll throw the potatoes in. We'll let the potatoes cook until we can stick a fork in them and feel that it's not stiff. Okay? When it's nice and soft, it's a consistency of just about where you get like a mashed potato. That's what we want. We'll fry up the chopped up mushrooms, and we'll fry up the onions. And we'll show you how to mix all that later on. Okay? See you then. I already chopped up the onions over here, so more or less uniform. And we'll fry them up. They'll reduce, and we'll just mix them in. The water's almost coming to a boil pretty soon, and we'll be ready. I got my salt ready to go. Just about a handful of salt. It's about a big pot of water like that, and we'll be rocking and rolling. Good. Okay, we just cut up a half a stick of butter. We chunked them up, and we got them melting right here in this saucepan. At the same time, we got our potatoes already in here, and within a few minutes they're going to start to boil up. And we got our onions, and we got our mushrooms. Now, some of you might say, wow, that's a lot of mushrooms, but they reduce. We're going to lose quite a bit of volume on there. Now, first thing we're going to do is let this melt up a little bit. It's almost ready. And there you go. Nice and hot. We'll just throw all these onions right on in. Oh man, this is going to start smelling good. I'm going to have every hungry belly in the neighborhood come around in a few minutes. And talking about that, my son's up there somewhere. He's probably going to be running down here in a little bit, see what's cooking. That's when we'll Shanghai him to give us some hands. Alright, just fry it up. We like to get them a little sauteed to the point where they start to get a little brown around the edges. That gives it that nice caramelly flavor, that little burnt onion flavor, what I call it. So just keep stirring it in. We got nice high heat going on. And then when the onions are ready and nice and brown, we might add a little bit more butter, and then we'll dump all these guys right on in. So wait a few minutes, and then with the miracle of cinematography, we will take and show you what that looks like. Okay? Alright, now our onions are already beginning to yellow up. Just before they go brown, we take our mushrooms, just mix it all in, and kind of watch your butter. You might need to add a little bit more butter, but if it looks too dry, you need butter. I threw in about another quarter stick in there. I chopped it up. So now all you got to do is just slowly mix it in so your onions and your mushrooms start to blend. And then bring it all around, spread it around, shake it a little bit. go. Don't mind the mess, guys. You're trying to impress your wife. Guys are messy. Don't worry about it. After dinner, she'll really love you because it'll taste great. Now, throw it in there. I see I'm a little bit dry, so I want it to fry up a little bit. And we do have a lot of mushrooms in here, so I'll just take another quarter stick or so. Just cut it up. Let's just throw them in there. Go, melt up. And it adds a little bit more fluid. There we go. It's beginning to go right now. A good way to mix things is to go into like a figure 8. See that? You bring it all in. Okay? And then you mix it all around. If you keep going around in a circle, all you're doing is spreading the stuff around, nothing happens. So you bring it around, flip it over, come her in. There you are. Shake it up a little bit. There, now you got some good fluid. All that butter is melted. Now it's going to really start to cook. Okay. Wait a few minutes for this to start frying up. Oh man, I wish we had that smell-o-vision. You smell that butter and this onions and these mushrooms going. Now, what do you got? Potatoes are getting there. Now I can still see that we got a little translucency. We pull it out of the water, you just start seeing the edge there. Alright, it's beginning to cook up, but it's still nice and hard in the middle. Just give it a stir every once in a while, because these things sometimes will sit on the bottom. Okay, now our potatoes are already boiled up. We're doing a check. Now see, I got a fork and breaking it off. Nice and easy. Go in, you want to check a nice big one, you know, in case some of them aren't cut the uniform. There, nice, nice. You don't want to overcook them because you're going to end up losing a lot of the potato. And you're going to have a lot of mush, but no potato for the mash. Now just turn the thing off, bring it over. I'm going to strain all this out. Now what I have to do is put a little cold water on there instead of having all these pipes and everything heat up. Just nice and slowly pour it right through there. Yeah. Okay. So that all come out. And keep your face away from that steam because that is hot. Be careful. Let them all come out. That's about it. Okay, now we'll let that sit, let it all drain out. All the water comes out of there. Then we'll throw it right back into the same pot. Don't rinse it out. Don't do anything to it. It's still nice and hot. Put it right back here. The thing's off. Put it there. Give it a couple of shakes. You see it's still a little bit of drip in there. We want as little moisture as possible in this. Come back here. Put it right back in. Nice and easy. All right, you want to make a big mess. Guys are messy, but we don't want to be super messy. All right. Now you notice that these guys are frying up. I'm losing a lot of moisture in there. It's being reduced. And this will be ready to go right into the mashed potatoes. Now, still want to get rid of some more of that. You hear it sizzling, so the water's coming out. Now the butter is beginning to actually fry it up. We're going to have some frying taking place. Shake it up. Oh man, this smells so good. Right, I told you my son would be down here, and there he is back there. And this is my other son-in-law. And there's Eric back over there. As soon as he smells food, he comes down. That's the only time you see him during the day, man. Alright, just let that go right through there. Now, we'll let that just finish up. Well, what I'm doing, I'm getting my cheeses together. Because there are some of us that do like cheese Vareniki or cheese pierogies. What we have, since we're international, we have some queso fresco. It's a crumbling cheese, fresh crumbling cheese. What we'll do, we're going to break it apart, mash it up with the thing. Now, we also have some good old Philadelphia cream cheese. You cannot do this without Philadelphia cream cheese. We'll mix it in there, put some seasonings, and we'll tell you about the seasonings that we're going to put in there. We're going to start working with this all at one time. You're going to see a couple other people in here, my wife, and maybe we'll get some of these guys in here mixing and mashing, and we'll start going. And while they'll be doing that, I'm going to start getting the dough ready. Okay? So this is almost ready. This is done. We'll mix. We'll work on the cheese, and we'll start on the dough. Okay, catch you next segment. Okay, now we're going to start doing the dough. I use Pillsbury all-purpose dough. Sit back. Now, how much dough are we going to use? Well, see how much potatoes we have, or the filling, plus the filling for the cheese. So I figure you're going to use about the same amount of the dough mixture as you have the filling. Now, the dough mixture is going to stretch out, and you're going to make a little pocket of it, and you put the filling inside it. So, but you got the two little walls, and then you got the little design on it, and you're ready. So about, more or less about the same amount. So we take this, just pour it into a nice little bowl. And you're looking over there, you're looking over here. Okay. And that looks, ooh, that feels so nice. Guys, remember when you got married on your honeymoon? You put your hand, oh man, this is awesome. Quiet back there. Now, my secret ingredient, all-purpose, super manly ricotta cheese. Just take a couple of big scoops, throw it in. You'll notice that there's no eggs. There are no eggs allowed. Now, it's got plenty of moisture. I'm only going to add moisture as I need it. I don't need moisture, I don't add it. Now, guys, just get your hand a little bit on that flour in there, mix it up, and dig in. Just start squeezing it together. Bring the back, the front, the sides are on top of it. Grab it, squeeze it. Oh man, I told you about that nice feeling. Oh, right between your fingers, man. Woo! So, just put it right in there. Now, keep mixing, and you'll start noticing you got these little balls all over the place. These little nuggets start showing up. Okay, what's that tell you? We need more moisture. More moisture means more ricotta. More ricotta. Flip it in, put it in. And now you're going to start seeing even more of that stuff. It's going to start to cake up. Keep going, keep working it. Bring the outside, the back side, the front side, squish it. Back side, front side, all sides, squish. Yeah, just keep working it, keep working it. You got all these little clumps. Oh man, this is really beginning to feel good. So, here we go again. A little bit more ricotta. The secret thing is no eggs. Some guys complain about that chewy, rubbery Vareniki or Pierogie that, I mean, you could throw it on the floor, bounce right back up. You want delicate dough when it's cooked, just like that pasta. Just work it in, nice and slow. Now I want to use all this ricotta, and then we'll just put a little bit of water in there as we need. Here we go. Keep working it. Keep working it. Now I'm going to ask my honey, prepare a little bit of water for me. She's reluctant to show up. Alright. Come on, don't be afraid. Here she comes. Now, she doesn't want to be on the thing there, but here she is. Yeah. Beautiful, ain't she? Look at that. Now, just a little bit at a time. Just keep working it. Now, you got any pinned up hostilities, any pinned up aggression, your boss doesn't treat you right, just go in there and, work it in. You know that co-worker that irks you? Just take it out, just squeeze it in there. You know? I sleep good at night. Why? Because I cook. When I cook, I take it all out over here in the pot. I'll tell you, man, it tastes good. Now, see it's beginning to stick. That's what we want. You're getting all these nice big clumps. And a little bit more. Hey, hon? My assistant? You! I need a bit more water. Quick! Here she comes again. Now, just a little bit more. There you go. Yeah, just a little bit more. Now at this stage, you can throw a little bit of salt in there if you want for salt taste. But those of you on low sodium diets, you don't need it, but you can put it in when you're eating it. Okay. Here we go. You're going to get it all. Okay. A little bit more. Get it off your finger. See, it's beginning to stick. That's what you want. Sticky stuff is good. Now we start to knead it in. And there's moisture on the bottom. Oh, look at that. Wow, magic. Look what we got. Now, don't forget to get all this stuff off your fingers. Waste not, want not. There you go. And remember, guys, this is the reason why you're doing it. Right? You love the little old lady. Well, you love the girl. There you go. Start pushing it in. Now, if it's a little too sticky, it's a little too damp for you, it's because we might have put in a little too much ricotta, we put in a little too much water. No problem. You just add a little bit more flour. But we want to incorporate everything really, really well. This is really done well. So I'm ready to get this to go in on the board. All right, hon, I need you again. You move this aside. Flour up the. You want a little bit of flour on the countertop. If you don't have the big mixing board, all you got to do is just flour up the countertop. Wipe out any dampness you might have there. And right there. Okay. All right. Okay. Just throw a little bit of flour on there. Flour up the board. It's a little too tacky, but that's what this is for. Put it right in there and start working it in. Push with your palms, get it out, roll it, fold it. Think of the hostilities you've been through all week long with that coworker. Right there, your boss, my boss. There we go. Just push it in, push in, push in, fold it, push it in. There we are. Now we're getting there. I made my Vareniki this way once. There was a Ukrainian little old lady, tried out my Vareniki. Her husband came over here and he had some of my Vareniki. And then when he told her that he had my Vareniki, lady got upset. She wanted to know what I did to make that dough so tender and so smooth and so jelly. It was good. I do believe that she was a little bit jealous. An older Ukrainian lady that was outdone by a punky Ukrainian doofus like me. There we go. Just fold it in, fold in. When you don't have any more of that excess moisture, you just stick it, you fold it all in like that, roll it. You don't have it breaking it apart on you. What that does, just bring in some more of that stuff. Here we go. Now you can let it rest for a little bit, or you can start going right to it. There we go. Ah, that's so good. Alright. Now, we take a little bit of plastic, just throw it on top so it doesn't dehydrate. And here's what we do. Break off a clump, roll it up, get a little bit more of that flour in here. And you can knead it up a little bit, spread it out. You can start rolling it out. There you go. And you have to feel it for yourself, how much pressure you have to put in there. If you want it super thin, just put a little bit more pressure. It breaks off in the bronze, put it back. Work with what you got. Now, just keep cutting it. Through there, pushing it out. Work it from the center. Okay. Get your regular cup, or you can get a little bit bigger cup. Your choice. Simple as easy. Just go in there. Cut right through. And then you just pull that right out. And this is ready to be filled. Now the girls will take and stretch it out a little bit, put the filling in there, and they'll pinch it up. So as well, I'll get a bunch of these ready in a few minutes, and then you'll see us putting it all together for you. Okay? Good enough. See you then. I'm cutting them out. My production crew here is taking and stretching them out a little bit more, and then take a little spoonful of the potatoes and put it right in. Okay. Try to keep it a little clump right in the middle, and then you just give it a little tug out. Make sure everything stays in the middle. Give it a little tug out, see what happens, and then you can just roll it over, start pinching it all together, bring it in, pinch in kind of a roll pinch, kind of bring it up together, bring it together, go all the way around, make it look nice. Okay, now some people like it just to do that, but some people get a little artistic. So what they do is they give it a little roll, pinch, roll and pinch, roll, pinch. See what's happening? I got this little Frenchy thing happening here. Right there. Right there. Right there. See? You squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. And look at that. Gourmet. And then we're going to get a bunch of them going right here as we got already started. Put a little flour on there so they don't stick. And then we start boiling our water, a little bit of salt in it. When that becomes into a roll boil, we start dropping them in, and when they float, we scoop them out, put a little butter, and we're set. Now, they turned me into Jim Belushi with a samurai see, if you guys remember that. I started sweating a little bit, so I'm rolling it out, really doing a good job over here. And my production crew just disappeared on me. So we got the cheese, which will be baking up in a few minutes. They're working them over there. That's Eric. Say hi, Eric.
Hola.
Hola, there he is. Okay, girls, he's 18, eligible, started college. And there's my honey. Okay. All right. We'll get you back when we start cooking. We'll see you then. See how light that is, the white spot? That's the cheese. That's the potato.
I want cheese.
All right, now. Fill it. All right, now they're beginning to come up, and they're going to start floating. Here they come. Oh, right on time. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just float to the top, so nice and delicate. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Just a little bit more. Really, just make sure they're all loose. They'll come up. And we got a straining ladle. We'll straighten it out. Okay. There we go. All right, can you pull them out? And we just pull them out. Where's the little strainer? Okay. Okay, where's that strainer we were using? Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have it. There you go. Just pull them out and stack them up. Slowly, one by one. You don't want to break them. Now we're going to get 2 pots going to finish these up in a couple of minutes. And then you'll be ready. Alright?